you mentioning that made me also think about, although Virginia Running didn't turn out the way I had thought, and you could probably think about this on some of your projects as well. I was sitting in the auditorium. I had watched it a couple of times at the theater to see how it would look on the screen, to see how it would sound. And I had 3 times I had watched it, twice by myself and then once with Lakin, and I had watched it. The DVD never had played all the way through without it skipping or stopping any of the 3 times that I had previewed it. It just, and I burned it in different copies. We watched it in different auditoriums. So it never did play all the way through. So opening night comes on. The movie has never played all the way through because it's always been some kind of a technical problem. It's stopped. There's been a glitch. It's frozen. So the whole night that the people are there, I'm sitting there so nervous, wondering, is this movie going to stop? Because it had stopped around the same part every time. So when I'm trying to remember exactly what part it was. I can't remember now. I think it was in a part where me and Lakin we had went to the drive-in or something. It was around that part, maybe after that. So I'm sitting there so nervous. I'm like, here comes this part, here comes this part. If it pauses or stops, what am I going to do? There's no backup. I don't know how many people are there, 80 people there, 70 people there. Luckily, it plays all the way through. There's no problems. So that was pretty interesting. And then another interesting part was there was crying. A couple of the audience members cried when Lakin's mother died on camera. Well, not die, she didn't die on camera, but when she found out that she had passed away, I didn't expect that.
Wow.
I thought that I had written more of a comedic movie, but it wasn't. It didn't turn out that way at all. So that was interesting. And that's when I kind of learned, well, not until years later, but I was like, you can shape the movie by editing. That's how the movie's really shaped, in the editing room. And, that experience there with Virginia Running made me realize that more. I don't know if I would be able to fully realize that without being in that moment. And it was very, very weird because I never anticipated one tear to be shed ever.
It's a cool experience, though. It's cool to get an emotional response from an audience in any way. I think laughter, tears, because that's what film's for, is to get emotion out of your audience. And if you've achieved that, then it's a success no matter what it looks like. No matter what.
I think trying to get the laugh is the hardest, though. Don't you?
I'll say this. I have tried. I haven't spent much time trying to get a tear, and I don't think I've ever gotten a tear in any of my films. But I have tried so many times to get laughter, and I miss way more than I hit. I hit every once in a while, and when I do, I'm like, I got it. And then it's like 3 years later, and I get the next one. I'm like,
well, see, I always, whenever we would do the show in studio, because some people, it's really easy to make them laugh. You know what I mean? And it's not that I don't appreciate the laugh, but some people, they'll laugh pretty easily. But if you can get that one person to laugh, that, especially I always felt this in the studio. If you can get that one person to laugh, then I always felt good about myself. Like, I always felt pretty decent if I got you to laugh or Vogue. If I got you two to laugh, I thought, okay. Because a Scorpion laughed pretty easily about things. And I knew things that TJ would or wouldn't laugh about, the subject matter. And the same with Kaiser, just toilet humor. He would laugh at that. And, but it was kind of funny, things like that. Because humor there's so many different facets of humor that a lot of the humor that's popular is like, I don't know what, we've always changed the kind of humor that we did. Like we used to do shocking humor a little bit. I mean, even toilet humor to some extent. I don't think we ever got into that too much. That was never really.
We didn't do as much with it. There were some other people involved in the show that kind of did.
Yes.
But we kind of.
And we kind of segued away from that kind of stuff at the WEBR days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we.
Well, because we didn't have those people who enjoyed toilet humor.
That's
I
true.
don't personally. I'll say this. You know, there's some jokes where I'm like some kind of sex jokes and stuff that I think are pretty funny.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, that's a good joke. But I
But
will.
how many do you need? You
But
know?
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, all right, throw out one or two, and you're fine. But let's move on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I
Mike
feel that.
Birbiglia. Do you ever
Yeah.
listen to his
Yeah.
stuff? He'll throw out
He
like,
used
go ahead.
he used to come on Opie and Anthony sometimes.
He will throw out one or two like toilet joke for a whole thing, and it'll be funny, but he moves on pretty quickly. It's like he
Yeah.
hits every single little area of jokes and moves on. And
I
I
think
like
I
I
think
appreciate that.